Hey guys, before we start, a quick shout out to Alpha Dog Nutrition for sponsoring this podcast. Alpha Dog products are now available at dusupply.com, and you can use code ALPHADOG15 at checkout for 15% off and a credit for free shipping to try it yourself. Now let's get you to your podcast.
Welcome to my podcast, where we are going to talk about a lifestyle with dogs and throw in a few life lessons along the way. Whether you're a hound hunter, bird dog enthusiast, running setters, pointers, retrievers, or a flat-out running dog junkie, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Heath Hyatt, a certified law enforcement canine trainer with over 3 decades of personal and professional training and handling experience. It's time for me to pay it forward. So grab your leads, lace up those boots, and come and join me on this lifelong process of teaching, training, and learning. Are you looking to unlock your dog's full potential and give them the best nutrition possible for peak performance? Then look no further. Inukshuk has what you're looking for. Inukshuk's nutrient-dense formulas are crafted to keep your dog's energy high and performance top-notch. Packed with premium proteins and essential fats, Inukshuk delivers the balanced nutrition your dog needs to thrive. From hunting dogs to police canines, Inukshuk is trusted by professionals. Give your dog the power of peak performance with Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. All right, we are finally caught up, which means that I am recording this podcast 3 days before it drops. So everything should be back in line. And actually, it's kind of my fault because I have been so busy. Volleyball season finally ended last weekend, which now we're getting into travel ball. So we got 2 girls playing travel ball. So we rolled out of high school right into travel. So that's taken up some time. I've been working 10-hour days. We've got a bunch of new recruits that we're trying to get through the door. And the one and only me in my division is responsible for inboarding and getting them to the academy. So that has been extremely taxing. So we've been working 10-hour days to try to get them in for the new academy. So that means that I pretty much leave at dark and get home at dark. Been trying to get my aluminium, my pole barn, if you want to call it that for right now, under roof before bear season comes in. And it has been the last couple of days. I finally got my trusses set. Wes and Claytor come over to help me get the trusses on it. Thank the Lord. And it was cold. That was Friday. And yesterday I climbed up on it trying to put the strips down for the 10, and I got two down, and I decided that I'm not going to fight this wind. It was like 28 degrees with the wind blowing, and I just decided I'm not going to do this anymore. So went in. Of course, last week was Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. So we had Thursday, we had to go to family. Last night, we had a dinner with the friends, actually the bear hunting group. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Had a nice dinner last night. So today, I'm going to try, along with trying to get all my hunting crap together, because Monday, which is tomorrow, is the first day of bear season in Virginia. So I've got a lot to do today. I'm just trying to figure out which one I'm going to do first. But my truck is literally sitting underneath this pole barn right now, my hunting truck. And my front seat, my floorboard, the console has got all the cordless tools in it. It's got a box of nail or screws. It's got tape measures and levels. It's got so much stuff in it. I've got to get it cleaned out today. So that's the plan for today. Anyway, I just want to welcome you guys to another What's Up Wednesday. And I apologize that you have to listen to me 2 weeks in a row. But again, the last couple of weeks have been very hectic here at the house with work, trying to get ready for season, trying to get stuff done. So my scheduling to have the guests on have been hit or miss, which has been a miss. But I do have 2 really good guys lined up. Hopefully next week you can hear one. And maybe the weekend. I may run them back to back. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I need to, with bear season in, it gets really hard because, you guys hunt, you're out in the woods. You don't know when you're going to be home. I mean, December is just hectic, period. Like the days are shorter, you're running. And if you drive like I do, I mean, most of the places I hunt, it takes me an hour plus to get there. So in the morning you're leaving and you're getting home in the evening sometime. This first week is going to be really hectic for me because I've got some responsibilities at work. I've got some obligations. We have our tactical range this coming week. And since I do the training part, so my evenings, we've moved it to evenings. So I hope to be out of the woods by 5 o'clock and home. So we're going to do pretty much evening training for 4 days. So the first week is extremely hectic. But yeah, so hopefully I can get the scheduling worked out and get through December. And periodically we'll kind of catch you up with what's going on. I'll just talk about this because we did it last night. So we had our Friendsgiving, right, with all of our hunting group and friends and people that kind of feel like they're family anyway, right? So we were eating dinner and everybody was talking. And I don't know, I'm assuming that all of you guys kind of do the same thing. Like we're up on the mountain. I haven't been, but some of the hunting guys have spent a couple of days riding around, talking to the deer hunters, talking to the people that are camping, and they trying to find out what they're seeing, where the food's at, so on and so forth. And I just got off the phone with Uncle Bob Melville, and he's planning on coming down. We got to talking about the food source. So what we have found in the areas that we hunt is that anything below the frost line, I think I talked about this on the podcast before, anything below the frost line had some food. It could have been spotty or it could have been pretty good. It depends on where you're at. But for us who hunt national forest, basically that means that most of the food source is on private property. And we know, unless you have permission and it butts up to the national forest, you can't hunt there or you're not going to be able to hunt there. So that was one issue. And then when the storm come through, a couple months ago, that was a whole other issue that a lot of the stuff that was hanging on the trees literally got blown off. So the food is very scarce. And I know George, our good friend George Lammer, he talked about it. I think we talked about it on this podcast. They were in the crab apples. We know that the hickory nuts were good this year, but I talked to some of my buddies that camped during muzzleloading season and the first week of rifle. So 3 weeks, 2 weeks of muzzleloading and a week of rifle the first week. They did not see any bear or bear sign. And they seen very few deer. So they changed locations to go down into the lower part of the mountain, down in the flatland. That's what we call it. I'm sure everybody does that. And still did not see very many deer and no bear. And I talked to another friend of mine, Alan, who camps in an area that we hunt. And I talked to him the other night, and he had been in pretty much 3 weeks too. And the same thing, like didn't see any bear and the deer were scarce, no food. So I know that Wes and Garrett had talked to a group of hunters that had camped pretty much for the whole month. They've been up there almost a whole month for a month. And they seen one bear, very few deer. They ended up killing a nice deer yesterday or the day before yesterday. But they've been up there for a month. And we talked to another group of hunters on another range that we hunt, and the same story. So no bear, and they did see some deer. Actually, they took 2 really nice deer. So as the group talked last night, and I think it's a consensus in our area that I talked to another group yesterday too, because I sold some dog food to them. They're under the same impression that it's going to be a tough year, that the bear's probably going to lay up this cold front. So in Southwest Virginia, where I'm at, like the last couple of days have been high 30s. Yesterday, I think it did get to 33, but the wind chill was horrible. I mean, it was nasty. So this tomorrow and Tuesday is high 31 Monday, tomorrow, and high 32 Tuesday. So we feel like it's really going to push the bear down. Like it's going to push them into the ground, to lay down. So it's going to be interesting. We are prepared to get the old boot leather out and bust some places and spend a little more time in places maybe we normally don't go because, we don't have to. But this year, I think we're going to have to hunt really hard. Like, I really think that it's going to be tough. And you're going to have to earn it. So anyway, that was a general consensus amongst, our guys. And like I said, I talked to another group yesterday. I even talked to one of my buddies in North Carolina, and their season went out so a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Now they were in the western part, okay, not the eastern part. And they had taken a nice bear on Friday before it went out on Saturday and said that it had already had moss. It already plugged itself up. So if that's for any indication, it's going to be a tough season. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of coyote races. Get the dogs a little exercise, right? Run a yoke. But I know that's what's going to happen. It's going to be tough. Like I said, the weather's not helping. The food's not helping. Everything's just kind of lining up this year. And it's going to push the bear underground. And that's just a part of it, right? Mother Nature doing what it does, and the animals taking what nature's given them and trying to survive. So anyway, we'll kind of keep you posted on how the season's going. Maybe I'll get Bob on here when he gets down and we can talk about it. And like I said, the next 2 guests hopefully they're going to be good. So hopefully we can get them recorded this week. Like I said, it's going to be a extremely, extremely busy week. So anyway, there's where we're at with what's going on here. Let's catch up on the puppies. I know I posted a reel from last week's podcast about the one pup. I'll try to get a couple more videos and maybe get that dropped Wednesday when this one pops off. I just went back and like I said on the reel, I'm just kind of reiterating the scent process, which means I'm just going right back to the pad, putting scent on the pad, dropping the pad, and dogs hit the pad with their nose, setting the food down, and just trying to reestablish that, make sure that that's a strong foundation and no issues. I mean, I'm not in a rush. The pups are 3 months old now. 3 months old. So just going back and making sure that foundation's good. Next topic. So when I was down in North Carolina with Doug and BB and them a couple weeks ago, me and BB and TJ were going from BB's down to Doug. So, we crossed the line, the Virginia state line into North Carolina. Well, we had hit this road and I was in the middle. BB was in the front. I was in the middle. I think TJ was behind me. And the fog, was really, really thick. But one of the interesting things and we talked about it on the radio while we were driving down there, it was in layers. And I know maybe you don't see that if you're in the mountain ranges much. But being in the flatter ground like we were down there, I could literally see 3 different layers in the fog. And I know I've talked about it before, but again, it just kind of opens that conversation up again. I've never that I can tell you. Now I may have, but I can't remember if I have. I don't think I've ever rigged a bear in the fog, heavy fog. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying my experience with that is a no-go. And we were talking like the way that the fog was layered, like if it traps odor, like if it trapped odor in the bottom or the top layer, if you had dogs on top of the truck, you would not smell it because the middle layer would be the only thing available. And I thought that was very unique to see that. And the first thing that comes to my mind is scent. How does scent work in that? How does scent like travel? Can it travel? And I don't have those answers. I can just tell you experience. When it's foggy, like wait till it goes away for me, because I could ride around for hours and not do anything. And I'm definitely keeping note of that. I started this year was the first year that like I kind of had that aha, thinking about it. So, but BB and I talked about it. I don't think he has had much success in the fog, but I will say if the fog's laying like that and the scent's on the ground, it should be holding the scent to the ground, which you would think that would be better trailing conditions. But that morning when we went in, it was in the second place. That morning we went into the place. I think the track was probably 10 to 7, so 9 hours old. 9 hours old, 7, 8, 9 hours old. And a couple of the dogs could hit on it, but they never could find a direction. They went on both sides of the block. They had opened a time or two, but just never really could work it out. But now the fog had lifted by then. The time we got in there and kind of got figured out what we were going to do. But I just thought that was interesting, and I really want to pay attention to like the trailing conditions when the fog's in. I know, if the barometric pressure is high, everybody thinks opposite. Low barometric pressure means everything in the atmosphere is unstable. A high barometric pressure means everything in the atmosphere is stable. And high pressure means that you see the chimney smoke running to the ground. So I heard somebody talking about this the other day on a podcast. But anyway, I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the fog. Like I'm going to check the barometric pressure. I'm going to kind of see where it's at. I want to, pay more attention to my dogs, how they act, how they react. Are we trailing? I know I'm not rigging. So anyway, that was just something that caught our eye. We had discussed it. And so that's that. I'd like to know more. If you guys have any experience with it, shoot me a message, put a comment on the podcast. Like I'm really interested to know. Like I said, I don't know that I've paid much attention to it since the last 2 years. Last year I did, but I wasn't taking notes like I should have been. This year I have been very, very diligent in note taking. I mean, I've told you before, I'm writing down the temperature, the humidity, I'm keeping track just like my canine records. It's very detailed. So I can go back and look. Plus I've got, 4 young dogs, the B litter that I'm trying to get lined out. So I've definitely been keeping really good notes on them, what they're doing. Of course, along with the other dogs too. So I'm interested. I want to learn more about it. In fact, the next time I get to talk to one of our meteorologist friends, I'm going to see what she has to say about it. So the next time I run into her, I'm going to ask her about it as far as the weather side of it's concerned. Yeah, so I hope you guys all have a very good hunting season. I know West Virginia comes in the 9th. North Carolina comes back in either the 9th or the 16th. 16th. I know that, because I talked to Brian and their season comes back in. So I hope everybody has a great season. Make sure that we're doing the right things with the landowners. Can't say that enough. Like, we need to make sure. I know we have a right to retrieve in Virginia, but it never hurts to go talk and make an acquaintance and introduce yourself, and invite them to tag along, take pictures, whatever you need to do to bridge that gap for that relationship. It's very important. It's going to be very important with us moving forward. Here, especially here in Virginia, I know that Arizona is under attack now, and I feel like some of those Western states are. I mean, we're always like our stuff. We had the Proposition 6 and 7 that we had issues with, and I'll be honest, I have no issue with 6. Like, I don't know how you turn a dog loose without some type of a collar. And the wording was the problem because it said GPS, and not everybody wants to use a GPS. It should say some type of electronic tracking device. That way it could be telemetry if that's what you wanted to use, and not the GPS. I didn't have a problem with that one, and I would have supported. I do support it. Like, my dogs are too valuable. And I mean, how many comments and posts have we seen about the Garmin's showing signal but not picking up GPS, and how everybody was fussing at Garmin because they couldn't track their dogs? They're important to us. Like, they're very important. And I feel like that was something that everybody could get behind. And then, of course, Proposition 7 was the trespassing by Hound, which was written poorly. It didn't solve any of the complaints or the issues. So that one pretty much was dead in the water. But Arizona is getting it now. So we need to shift, our support like we did for Colorado to them, and hopefully that'll take care of it. I'm actually shocked that Arizona is getting that, but I guess Phoenix area, some of those are pulling out the punches for what they're doing. But everybody's posting. I know I caught Shorty's post, and I've caught 2 or 3 others who've been posting it. So, and I've seen that the Sportsman Alliance is actually doing a lawsuit against the Colorado Game Commission. I need to read up on that because I don't know the details of it, but maybe it was because it was a ballot initiative and not through science and like a vote in that direction. So I need to follow up on it. But like I said, it's been busy, and it's going to get busier for the next month anyway, until like the first week of January when our season goes out. And then Grand America. If you guys are traveling to Grand America, plan on being down there with, hopefully, I hadn't talked to Fielder, but I'm sure he'll be up, and old Doobie will be there. And I'm sure a lot of your other guys, I heard, I don't know if Ben Sheets is coming, and Zach Kroenke. A lot of those guys, I hear their names. So hopefully they're coming, but Grand America will be a good time. If you guys want to show up, we'd love to meet you. And since it's December, I'll end the podcast with this. I know I did a reel a couple weeks ago when I went to North Carolina. Guys, if you're looking for Christmas stuff, and I'm not trying to sell anything, I could care less, but these are products that I use. And if you know anything about me, I don't support anything that I don't test and use and believe in. That's why there's not a lot of stuff on my notes and everything. But the 3 things that I do, the Darkenergy power, the charging banks, I love them. In fact, I've got my stuff charging right now because I'm going to slip one in my pack for tomorrow. That way, if something happens, my phone goes dead or whatever, I can just recharge right there. I'll probably slip the Nano in. And I was thinking about it after I did that reel. So I've got a power bank in my hunting truck, in my other truck. I got one in my boat. Yeah. I mean, I was on the beach this year and my iPad went dead. So I literally got a power bank, plugged it into my iPad, and I was writing an article for Full Cry, which hopefully will be out. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Hopefully that'll be out this month or beginning of next month. I don't know. But anyway, I plugged it in and was using it. Like I said, I use it on my boat, charge my GoPros if I need it, or I run my GoPro straight to it. And the Nano, which is the one I carry in my pocket, like I can't tell you how many times I've slapped that thing on the back of my phone. It's magnetized. It slaps right on there. But anyway, it's a great product, and I use it. I believe in it. And like I said, if you guys guys or gals want to get something for Christmas, which is an easy gift, it's pretty much not very expensive. And I feel like you can use it at any point in time. It don't matter what you're doing. You can always use a charge. So you can use a promo code 4 for that. I haven't talked about the Frontline Optics much, which are the sunglasses that I wear. And I know I did a little blurb on the podcast, but the same thing. They're polarized. They're super good glasses. I wear mine pretty much all the time. They're over the visor of my truck right now. And they're for a good cause. That's what kind of drew me to them. 5% of every sale of these glasses go to children who have lost their parents in the line of duty for any first responder. So that could be fire, it could be police. I don't know many rescue people, but that's what it goes for. And that's kind of what drew me to this product. And I've had them since the first of the year. So I've had them almost a year now. And I wear them more than I probably wear my Oakleys. Work got us Oakleys. So that's why I have those. And I really like the Frontline Optics. I think it's for a good cause. Like I said, you can't go wrong when it's got something behind it, like what they're doing. And they've got several different colors. You can get different color lenses. I mean, if you're a firefighter and want the red tinted lenses, they have them. You can get black lenses, blue lenses. Like they've got a whole variety. You can go on there and get it. But if you do, like I said, you can use a promo code 4, and you get 10 or 15% off. Same thing with the Darkenergy. You get 15 or 20% off if you use code 4, CODE4. And last but not least, can't talk enough about, our magazine subscriptions. I subscribe to Full Cry, Bear Hunting Magazine, Southern Hound Hunting Magazine. Like, you want to keep the sport alive, and you want to invest in something that's fairly inexpensive. I mean, 25, I don't even know what I pay, but I mean, $25, $15, $20, $25 a year for these. I mean, literally, we waste that in junk food. So I subscribe to all three. I think I get the Bear Hunting magazine through, if you're a member of like Virginia Bear Hunters Association, that comes with the subscription, or the subscription comes with the membership. So I get it through there. So anyway, I subscribe to those. I support those. I don't know the companies because I know all of them. I know Mark. I know Colby. I know Jason and Danny. Like, I'm supporting them. And I want the small businesses. I want the hound hunting community to survive and thrive. Actually, I don't want it to just survive. I want it to thrive. By doing a little bit like that helps. And you can if you're an outfitter, you can put your advertisements in there. If you got kids, you can send. All of them do like a kids page. You can't go wrong with that. Take a kid hunting. I don't know. That's just who I am. And like I said, I support them. I want hound hunting to be here. So when my grandkids are here, that they have an option if they want to do it. So anyway, I subscribe to them. They're a great Christmas gift too. Buy somebody a subscription. I still like to read magazines. Like I read on my phone a lot. I read articles, but I've kind of converted to my iPad where I'm reading more articles on my iPad. I guess my eyesight's getting bad. But I do enjoy the magazines. In fact, I got one of the Full Cry and another one laying on the coffee table right now. But I like to pick it up. I like to read about everybody's dogs. I like to read what everybody else is doing. I want to immerse myself in learning. And a lot of times by listening to somebody else, the way they do things or what they're doing or how they're doing it, I can tweak or make what I'm doing better, put it in my toolbox and roll on. So we'll leave you with that. Hopefully next Wednesday we'll have one of the other guests on, so you don't have to hear me ramble for 30 minutes. But this one was short and sweet. I'm gonna get the 10 on my. I can't pick up my 10 for my pole barn until Friday. Hopefully by next Sunday, the weather is decent enough where I can climb back up on the roof without getting blowed off of it. I can get my 10 on, get my boat out of the weather, and we'll go from there. So hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great season, whether it comes in Monday, next Monday, or the following Monday. Hope everybody has a great year, and we will catch you next Wednesday on What's Up Wednesday. Do you like to be outdoors like I do? If so, unlock the wilderness with OnX Maps. It is your ultimate guide to exploring, hunting, and conquering the great outdoors. With detailed maps, real-time tracking, and exclusive access to public and private lands, OnX Maps is your key to adventure. Discover the possibilities and never get lost again with OnX. So subscribe today using the promo code K920, letter K, number 920, and know where you stand.